I feel like I wanted this to be like 3 sentences, but it ended up being like a whole story. So I'm afraid of needles and I'm afraid of blood and I don't like seeing them, but I'm able to do it. And if I can do it, you can do it too. I've watched at least 7 or 8 different YouTube videos on how people do the injections differently from me. I've tried them with ice, icing beforehand, icing after, heat beforehand, heat after. I tried it with absolutely no heat or ice at all. I first started doing the injections into the top of my leg, on the very top of my quad. I have very muscular legs and very muscular calves, so I was having issues with the actual auto-injector meeting with my muscle in my leg. And there was actually one time where I did the injection and it hit my muscle and the serum spewed or squirted everywhere. If you are a very active person, I would not recommend doing it on the top of your leg. If you're the kind of person that is active, but you definitely feel like you have enough soft fat on the top of your leg, then do it. I, however, don't. I have very tough skin on my legs. I really don't have a lot of fat in my actual stomach, but I do have a lot of skin that I'm able to pull out like a little jelly roll. I call it like a little jelly roll of fat that I do the injection into. I don't use any ice and I don't use any heat before I do the injection. Usually what I'll do is I'll let it sit out, but I will let it come to room temperature. And then what I will do is after I've done the injections, I will immediately just like chill out and put a heating pad on the site. And I'll apply a little bit of pressure to make sure that the serum has completely absorbed into my skin and it's not just sitting underneath the skin. My recommendation is only use heat. Only use heat after the injection. You can use a heating pad, you can immediately get in and take a relaxing shower, you can take a bath, whatever you can do to keep the circulation in your body and around your stomach or in your legs so that the serum can absorb the best that it can. And that's the whole point. You want it to absorb into your body so that it works faster. So the citric acid that is in the Humira is going to come in contact with your skin and it will create a burning sensation, but it doesn't last very long. At first, it can be shocking how bad it can burn, but then after you do it a couple times, it really isn't as bad, and I think you actually develop a almost like not an immunity to the pain, but you get used to the pain, and the pain doesn't shock your system as much after a little bit of practice. It can be really scary at first if no one's helping you. You want to make sure that when you do this for the first time, you do it with a doctor, or you do it with a nurse practitioner, and they teach you how to do it. And you want to make sure that you do it at least one pen independently by yourself. I will be honest with you, the first time I had to have 4 injections done in that one first office visit, they said to me, I'll do 2 and you do 2. And I was like, okay, so they did 2, and it was the sting was so unexpected that I wimped out and I was like, I promise I'll do the 4th one. But my doctor ended up doing the first 3 and I did the 4th one. Even though she wanted me to do 2 and she did 2, but I just I was in shock by how much it stung because I'd never had a bee sting before, so I didn't really know, like when they say, oh, it's like a bee sting, I was like, what's a bee sting feel like? You know, I didn't know what it would feel like. So it was really shocking for me. But after I did it a couple times, it's really only a couple seconds of pain and it's going to make you feel a lot better. I need to be completely left alone when I do it because I don't like to be distracted, so I can't have anybody in the room. When I originally first started doing it, I had someone with me and it actually made me more nervous and more self-conscious about it. So I do it by myself, but if you need somebody to do it, like just sitting there with you, then that's fine. If you have a pet, just have your dog or your cat just like hang out with you while you do it. Maybe watch a show while you do it, so it's like not like you're really doing anything. It's just kind of like a chore. Don't make a big deal out of it and don't feel like you have to sacrifice your whole night just because you have to do your injection. The only thing that I will say is if you do the injection and immediately get up and start walking around, it will absorb into your skin faster and it will burn because you're moving around and the blood gets pumping and your body feels like it's exercising, or like the body feels like, oh, I'm moving, I need to pump the blood faster. So it will burn faster. Don't wait like 5 minutes and then get up. Don't get up immediately because then it's just going to absorb into your stomach and you're like, it really hurts. But depending on how you get Humira, I get Humira sent to my house directly, and it comes in this really well packaged box. It's in a big styrofoam box. It's kind of not really that eco-friendly, but it's such an expensive kind of injection that they need to make sure that it stays a certain temperature. So when you actually open up the box itself, I'm taking everything out. So it comes with 2 pens, and generally I keep 1 pen out, obviously, because I'm gonna let it come to room temperature. And it does come with like a couple booklets. I've never ever had to look at any of these booklets. And it does come with 2 alcohol wipes. So if you are going to use an alcohol prep, you want an alcohol prep pad, you want to make sure that your skin is completely dry of the alcohol before you do the injection, because you don't want to make it already sting. It's already going to sting. So you want to make sure that you let the alcohol prep pad dry on your skin. So this has been out for a little while already. Like before I took it out of the cartridge, it's already been out for about 20 minutes anyway. I typically let it sit out for about 45 minutes to an hour. So I typically just let it hit room temperature. How do I explain this? If it doesn't really sting that much, you know that it's at room temperature. If it really, really stung, then the serum was probably still a little too cold and you should have waited maybe another 10 minutes, because acetic acid, if it enters your bloodstream and it's a cooler temperature, the acid will enhance the pain. But if the acid is more at the same temperature of your blood, then it won't really cause a sensation in your nervous system. You want to make sure that you're doing the injection in a perimeter around your belly button, but you need to find a position where you're able to find like even like a little roll of fat. I personally do it on the left or the right, and I rotate so that I don't get a lot of scar tissue on one side of my stomach. If you're a Crohn's patient, or if you're a person who's had any kind of major surgery on your gastro tract and you feel self-conscious about the way your body looks post-surgery, you shouldn't feel that you are any less beautiful than you were before. If anything, a scar shows a journey that you've been on, and if anybody cares about the way that you look because you have a scar on your stomach, they shouldn't be a person in your life. If you're with a person that, you know, appreciates you for what you've gone through and appreciates the strength that you have, they're typically not going to make any comments about the scars on your stomach, because they probably think, wow, look at what you've gone through. So I guess my point is that if you feel self-conscious about your scars, or because of your colostomy bag, it's something that I hope that you'll get over, because it really doesn't matter. And whatever person that you end up with one day, they're not going to care, or they're probably going to think that you're even, you know, more courageous or more strong, that you don't care. You just need to surround yourself with people who don't judge you based on the way your body looks, because they know that your body is going through a lot, and they know that your body isn't as healthy as it could be, because you were given this body and you can't do anything about it. Find confidence in yourself, and it's possible, but sometimes it will take time. I just wanted to share with you real quick. This is the container that I put all of my auto injectors into once they're empty, and it typically can hold quite a few. I think it can hold at least a dozen if you have the size that I have. I believe it's the quart, whatever it is. They offer free removal of the auto injectors from your home program. I don't know what they call it. I just made that up. I just call it the removal from your home box program. But what's nice about it is that you don't have to pay for the shipping to and away from your home. They will handle all of that for you, and it's a really easy phone call. You just call and you just say, hi, my container's full, I need a new one, and they'll say, okay, you need a replacement container. They'll verify your address. They'll ask you if you need any help, any tips on your injections. The Humira company in general, their customer service line is very friendly, and they're very knowledgeable. So that's what's nice about the company of Humira, is that they do really cater to their customers, to their patient. I took off the first part and the second part of the pen, and I just put the little pieces aside. Like, I just put them aside, like you don't need them. And then I just rest the pen like on my hip. I like lean forward so that I can get like a really good little roll. I'm not pinching it really hard, but I'm pulling it out enough that I can, with my finger, I can make sure that it is a really soft kind of, I guess the word is bouncy piece of skin. Like, I want to make sure that it's not tough. So I can tell that this is a part of the stomach that I haven't injected in a while because it doesn't feel as tough as the other side of my stomach. If you've been doing the injections for 2 years like I have, you're going to find spots that you need to give a break, like you need to let them heal. So I'm going to do it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, well, it's already done. I can already tell. Okay. So I'm going to pull this off real quick. The serum now has this yellow little, it's weird. It's like this little yellow window. Like that's where the injection was. That little tiny dot right there is it. And it burns a little bit, but it doesn't really hurt that much. That's my scar, by the way. So you'll notice that there's no blood. There's no bubble. There really wasn't like a puncture wound. The only thing that really freaks me out every time I do the injection is that click and the noise. It just, I don't like it. I really don't like the noise that it makes, but I know that it's going to make me better. I know it's going to make me live a normal life. I know it's going to help me, you know, be an independent person and be able to work full time, and I'm not going to be in as much pain with my disease, and it's going to minimize the inflammation in my body. So the couple seconds of burning, it's worth it. I don't think I want my thermostat in the last image of this. So anyway, right there is my heating pad that's heating up, and I'm going to put it on my stomach in a minute. But I hope this video helps you become more confident on doing your injections, whether it's for an autoimmune disease or rheumatoid arthritis. Share this with people you know who are just starting, because it shouldn't take you 2 years to become confident to do these injections like I did. I wish that I had someone who personally used them, who could give me tips, because your doctor does try their best to teach you how to do the injections in that one office visit, but you're really not going to become good at it until you figure it out yourself and you take tips from real people who do it. So watch my video, share it with other people. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Isn't it the other person that's supposed to say that? Aren't they supposed to say, after a while, crocodile? I guess I just said both. What do you say at the end of a video? Guten Tag, goodbye, shalom, I'll be back. No, we're not saying that. I should have just left it at the crocodile thing.